Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, I'm going to go over some important key terms, some of the rules of those people that plan to take the insurance broker / agent exams in New York State. I'm going to go over some of the flashcards that I think it might help you out for your study for the insurance broker / agent exam for property and casualty broker or personal line broker / agent. So let's get started. I know it's not the best way of reading through something and learning, but I tried to put it on my scanner and this is how it keeps on coming up. I apologize for this in advance for those people that I don't like the layout, but I'm gonna go over some of the rules, and hopefully the audio might be a little bit better for you to understand. So let's go over homeowner. It's going to be random. It's going to be all over the place, but that's the purpose of this study. I'm going to be teaching you different items, different things, and not one thing so you guys don't get bored. So let's get started. Homeowners. Now, homeowners has coverage. There's coverage A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, there's many coverages. So this coverage is F. It's medical payments to other. This is a no-fault coverage. It pays the third parties regardless who is at fault. So let's look at this way. I'll give you an easy example. Let's say if you're driving a car and you hit somebody and the person is injured. That person that's got injured is a third party. Now, whoever is at fault, that person will get paid for the medical payments. Now, it all depends what's your medical payments limit. Some people have $5,000, some people have $10,000. It all depends. So that's what the medical payment is. A homeowner has medical payments. They do have medical payments inside of homeowners as well. Not only for auto, but also for homeowners and even for business. Medical payments in every coverage, and they usually is included. So that's what the medical payment is, just coverage F in a homeowner. So they pay the third party, regardless whoever's at fault. So it covers the third party. Now coverage A, developing. Now what is coverage A? Now coverage A is developing. It's any structure attached to the home, to the building. So let's say, for example, let's look at this way. Anything that's attached, let's say, to the home. How can I explain it? It's a little bit complicated. Let's say, for example, if the garage is attached to a home, attached garage, that's coverage A, dwelling. If it's detached, then it's coverage B, other structure. That's how you see the difference between coverage A and coverage B. Anything that's attached to the home, attached to it. For example, inside the home, boilers are attached. If it's not detachable. If it's attached to the home, it's coverage A. Look at even an easier way. Let's say if you have a home, you put it upside down, you shake everything outside. Anything that's stuck in the home, that's coverage A, dwelling. Anything that's attached to the home, that's coverage A. Coverage B, on the other hand, is any other structure detached from the main dwelling, from the home. So garages, tool sheds, all those things, these are all coverage B. Something that's not attached to the home. Gazebos, if they're not attached to the home, they're coverage other structures. Fences are sometimes considered as other structures, sometimes it's not. It depends on the insurance point of view, but for this point, from the sake of argument, it's other structures. Now, 10% of the dwelling coverage can be applied to other structure. Now, insurance is a little bit different. Now, you can use 10% of the dwelling coverage and be using on other structures. So, let's say for coverage A, you can use 10% for coverage B if something does happen in let's say, for example, fire or whatever the case is. So, that's an important part. Now, under the DP1, this 10% is not an additional amount of insurance. Under DP2 and DP3, it is. So under DP1, it's not. Under DP2 and DP3, it is. Covers 3, personal property, such as clothes and other items inside the home. Now, going back to the example, when I told you anything that went outside, let's say if you have clothes, if you have other items like watches and jewelry, that's personal property. So that's coverage C. Coverage D, fair rental value, rented to others for rent. Let's say, for example, 2 weeks, not March this, if civil authority prohibits the insurer to use load. Now, what that means is simple. Let's say, for example, if your house gets burned down, you need rent-wise. So that's what coverage is. It's fair rental value. It helps you go outside and basically get something to live on. If you don't have a home, if your home burns down or something, that's coverage D. Now DP1 losses, actual cash value, minus depletion property. Now DP2 and DP3, they are personal property. It's actually equal to the actual cash value. So that's one part about it. going over coverage E, additional living expenses. It is unfit for normal use. So going back to coverage E is also in a way for additional living expenses. So let's say if you, like I said again, if your house gets burned down, they give you something else. That's coverage E. It actually helps. You could go over and actually live to another, or like rent for somewhere a little bit amount of time. Under DP2 and DP3, DP1 is like coverage E in enclosed. 20% of coverage A is actually for use under for fair rental value. So it's kind of complicated. I know it's not the best study guide that I'm teaching, but it's at least something to go over, to at least help you out, just to give you a self-refreshment. And if I do make a mistake, just please comment below so we can at least have a discussion, so we could at least go over some of the things. Homeowners section 1 is also something called exclusions. I can explain about exclusions. Now, exclusions are something that might not be covered in an insurance policy. That's what exclusion is. Now that's very important. If you have an exclusion, that means that it's something that's not going to be covered. That's excluded. So let's say, for example, if you have a hurricane, hurricane category 4, most insurance companies are not going to cover it. They only cover it to a certain extent. So that's what exclusion is, and they will explain to you whenever you sign something. You will have a list of the documents, and that's whenever you see that it is not included. That's where exclusion is. Now, appraisal is insured, and insured cannot agree 20 days to a point. The appraisee have 15 days to pick up an empire. So let's say, for example, the insured don't agree to something in a certain amount of time, you can pick an umpire to make the judgment afterwards. Insurer's option, there's 30 days to receive the insured for proof of loss. You have 30 days. Loss payment, you have 60 days. And mortgagee, mortgagee, you have 60 days to fill a proof of loss and 10 days for cancellation. That's very important. So always remember the dates and the days for cancellation or something, because they can ask you in the test. Part B, medical payments. Reasonable expense incurred for necessary medical and funeral services. Time limit for incurring medical expenses is 3 years on a person per accident basis, regardless of insured. Claims made vehicle shown in deck page. Keep that in mind. Part C, uninsured motorist coverage is insured entitled to recover for owner of BI, bodily injury. That's what BI is supposed to mean. Make sure you know that part. Underinsured motorist coverage is available by endorsement under the PAP coverage. The insured when involved in an accident with a driver who has auto liability insured, but the limit of the insured is insufficient to pay for the insured damages. Now, underinsured motorist is simple. Let's say, for example, if you hit somebody and that for some reason that person does not have liability or doesn't have insurance, your underinsured motorist coverage will cover you at least under the PIP plan, PAP plan, personal auto plan. So at least this way you'll be covered. Even though, let's say, if you are injured and that person can't do anything about it. Now, this is the homeowners going over coverages. Coverage A is developing. Coverage B, other structure. Coverage C, personal property. Coverage D is loss of use, something that you can't use anymore. For section 2 is personal liability, meaning that for suit wise and everything. And remember, personal F is medical payments to other. That's what it is. Explosions. Now, going over certain points that they'll ask you during the test. Now, explosions or origination of premises, there's internal explosion and there's outside explosion as well. So keep that in mind. Off premises and on premises. That's the difference between explosion. Riot is 3 or more people use of force or violence against individual or property. That's where it has to be 3 or more people in order to consider it as a riot. Volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruptions is earthquakes, land shakes, land tremors. They all are considered volcanic eruption. Or one or more volcanic eruption that occurs within a 72-hour period will be considered as one volcanic eruption. So keep that in mind. So if in 72 hours if 6 happen, it's only considered as 1. Agricultural smudging. What is it? It includes damage from the use of smudge pots to protect growing crops and trees from frost. Industrial operation, it includes the normal use of smoke to expel smoke from a factory or on the periodic cleaning. That's what it is. Hail, now what is hail? Is damage caused by direct action of hail. Hail, if it causes damage, that's one of the hail. Aircraft is any form of contact with an aircraft, self-propelled missiles, spacecraft, airplane engine, balloons, helicopter, they are all considered as aircraft. Vehicle, direct physical contact by a vehicle within the insured property, that's considered as vehicle. Damage caused by an object thrown to be vehicle, such as a stone, that's basically it's called comprehensive coverage. So keep that in mind. Somebody throws anything to your car, that and you hit the car, that's comprehensive coverage. HO2 coverage. So keep this in mind. HO2 coverage, what it covers? It covers WC shaver, which means that wind, hail, lightning, these are WC shaver. It's a lot of in it. I'm not gonna go over right now, but that's WC shaver is one of the most important questions. Vandalism, mischief, and also theft, and also the big effect. A big effect is other big items that HO2 coverage does. Remember, there's HO1, HO2, HO3, HO4, HO5. I'm not going to go over right now, but HO2 is one of the main ones that I have. You're covered by a lot of coverages as well, but I'll go over it hopefully in the future whenever I have time. But for now, I'm just going to go over basic things. That WC shaver, if you go over it, if you know what it is, it goes over everything like wind, hail, lightning. These are fire. That's what WC shaver is. HO3, all risk or open perils. Perils is what I was talking about WC shaver. I don't have the list on me to go over everything, but there are perils. Those are considered as perils. HO4 to HO6 provide some perils to the HO2 coverage, and HO4 also provide you coverage on Section 2. So other than that, guys, this should be the last one. Fire and internal explosion. Fire is considered as spark, flame, original glow. Fire is not smoke on charring. Friendly fire is where it was intended to burn. That's what friendly fire is. Hostile fire is at the where it was not intended. It's hostile fire is covered by the pearl. Lightning itself or election caused by a volcanic effect. Internal explosions inside the premises. Explosions. Some explosions are exclusions, to keep that in mind. Bursting of water pipes, electricity arcing, explosion of steam boilers or steam pipes, rupture or bursting of steam release device. So this is a little bit of taste of the insurance terminology. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best to help you guys out as much as possible. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.